And here we are in Houston, TX2K on Friday night. We got 4 races in. We ran a red GTR twice, and then ran Jeremy Wingrat, his badass vet, once. And then after that, we ran that black twin turbo 5.0 from Florida.
Ready? 1, 2, 3!
And melted the head. Here's a little, check it out. Ouch, that's what all the sparks were, just blowing all this out. I already pulled this apart. I didn't get any video of that or any of the before stuff. I was just kind of focused on figuring out exactly what was hurt. Let's see, right here, it really didn't hurt the block. It just needs to be machined a little bit because it's kind of rough. I think it mainly like put aluminum on the block rather than taking anything away from the block. So that shouldn't be that big of a deal just to have that decked. I really need to O-ring it, but I also really don't think that I'm going to do that. Probably a mistake because I'm probably going to blow head gaskets out again. But we're also switching up ECUs this time because the gold box is badass. I love it for all its features, but it just won't control the AFRs. So like during the pull, it starts going lean. We had it set up, and this was totally my fault, this blow up, all my fault. Because we had, or John had, my tuner, had it set up to where the AFR cut was set up, I mean, really good. So as soon as it starts going lean during a pull, it would just kill it and save everything, you know, like, which kind of sucked because if you saw it, hopefully you didn't. But I attempted to enter a cache days, and during the burnout, I did a burnout, it went lean, and it spun like, I don't know, man. It was a piss poor burnout. Like, the worst burnout you've probably ever seen in your life. But the car died, and so then I backed up. One burnout and done. So that was my burnout. So I backed up and I was like, great, you know, no tires aren't even hot, you know, nothing, no rubber down, whatever. So I put it on the brake, got into boost, bumped in, and he hit the light. I was really late on that because I never dig race. But anywho, we left. The other truck that was beside me, he ended up winning the whole thing, so it was kind of cool, I guess, that at least he knocked me out. But I really knocked myself out. Because we took off and about, I don't know, 60 foot out, maybe it went lean again and died. So it was cool that it didn't blow up, but it also sucked that I lost $200 like that, which I would have lost the race anyways, but still, made me look like an idiot. Which, I mean, I guess I kind of am, but oh well. Anywho, Friday, right before we went racing, I went into the tune and turned the AFR cut way up. That way it wouldn't cut as soon. And apparently I turned it too far up. So during that pull, it went lean, and it was lean the whole pull pretty much. It wasn't like crazy lean, but I mean, 34 pounds of boost was a lot of boost. You really needed to be pretty rich. But it was lean enough to lift the head and melt that all out. So at least with these gaskets, I mean, it kind of sucks it melted the head. I got to get it welded, you know. But all the rods are still okay. The Athena gaskets, you do that to that, those, blow out those gaskets, you're going to lose some rods. Not really lose them, but bend them, so then you got to replace them anyways. Anywho, the bottom end should be fine. Those some of the problems we had during TX2K. I found this afterwards. I thought I could hear it. But it seemed like it ran really good under boost, but burnt through some wires. There's one, here's another one. I had just replaced all these, put some new wires in the car, and it burnt through them that quick. So I'm gonna have to figure something else out. I thought those were good. Apparently they're not. I'll probably go back to the stock metal boots and see if we can't keep from burning wires, or maybe put the stocks metal boots in those if I can fit it. Another thing, we went out to go test for some digs, and on the way there, my power steering hose rubbed up against my header and burned a hole through it, and then caught on fire, and then melted my belt. So I had a bad power steering hose, a belt, and the car was on fire. Luckily, homie Walter from Lubbock was fast with his fire extinguisher, and he was right behind me and saw all the smoke and they saw the flames, so they pulled over, had it ready, boom, put it out. So that was no big deal. But I didn't have a belt, or I had a spare belt, and apparently the spare belt that I had, I don't know why I didn't get the same size belt. It was too small. So it was a pain getting it on. We finally got it on though, and then I just took the lines off of the power steering at the rack and drained it all out. Just sat there and made sure that all of it was out before we actually ran it. The header was still soaked in fluid though, the power steering fluid. So I was hoping it didn't light back on fire from that, but we let it idle for a long time and burn it all off. So that was a fun night. I believe that was Wednesday night. But then Thursday I put a new hose on it, brand new power steering hose, cheap. I was thinking they were expensive, but it's like 20 bucks. I had to bend it out of the way because I have a bigger alternator than stock, because all the power that the whole car draws off the battery. The stock one wasn't good enough. Like during a pull and stuff, it would be okay, but at idle, it would just start doing funky stuff. My voltage would drop real low. So put a bigger amp alternator on it, which is actually bigger also. It still bolts up fine, but it's just a little bit more bulky. So I still have the power steering on this car. I don't know why it's... Nah, I do know why. I'm lazy. I really like the power steering. But anywho, to get that in there, you gotta like bend the hose out of the way a little bit. So I usually have it zip tied up to where it doesn't touch the header, but apparently it did and burnt. Oh well. No big deal. We replaced that hose, filled the system back up, and bled it out and all that stuff, and it was good to go. Got the right size belt, got the right size spare belt now, so we're good on all that. The only thing that sucks is whenever the head blew out, the power steering hose is right there, and the brand new one already has chunks of rubber missing, so I'm gonna go ahead and replace it again. But no big deal, because I can do that at my shop now rather than in the parking lot at the hotel. So all the damage from 2K, some wires, some protector boots, that hose that I replaced, belt I replaced, I got to replace the hose again, and then of course the gasket head and the surface of the block. But overall, for me, that's really not that bad. It made for a cool little show whenever it went out, but it also sucks braking every time I go out and race. But I mean, I guess I do have it on kill all the time, because why not? I can't really think of anything else that it messed up at 2K. It did, I mean, besides catching on fire and blowing up, it was actually a really nice 2K. I didn't waste it trying to fix like a whole bunch of stuff with the car. I probably could have got this all fixed and repaired at 2K, but I wasn't trying to waste the whole day and not go racing with Jay and all that like I did last year. We wasted, I mean, it was only one day, but still, you're down there to race, you know, not try to fix your car. Can't even talk. So this year I decided if it was anything big, we just weren't going to do it. I did take it to not a machine shop. I did take it to a shop. Our buddies down there, Garrett and Michael, they have Hangman, and they got a nice shop. Last year it was a different shop. This year it's a better shop. They let me put it in there and put it on a lift. We checked it out, figured out that the head was melted there, and I was like, man, I'm not even going to try to do this. If it was just gaskets, it was cool. I mean, that's an easy job. I could have done it there, a couple hours, whatever, been out racing that night. But since it melted the head, I was like, nah, I'm not even going to worry about it, man. We just loaded it back on the trailer, was done with it. Which is cool, because then I could drive my truck around and just follow Jay. Because it really sucks in Houston, driving both the race cars around. You can't carry all your bottles, or you have to have somebody else carry your bottles, because you're not trying to weigh your car down with all the bottles that you're trying to use the whole night. All your fuel. Like this thing, it runs on E85. There's a lot of E85 stations there, but still sometimes you're like miles away from one, you know. Jay's car is cool because you can put in pump gas wherever, any station, no big deal, except for the standalone. You got to have 110 in it. But yeah, man, it's way better whenever you actually have somebody to chase you with a chase truck. That way, they have all the stuff, tools, you know, whatever you need. If you break, they can go get the trailer or whatever. You know, it's way better like that. I like that. But in Houston, we do what we do, you know, get it done. Yeah, I'm gonna get back to pulling all this out. Hopefully I can get it done pretty soon.
Show you how to be the man, how to be the boss, how to come through with 7 coats to the gloss. Show you how to be the man. Show you how to be the man. Show you how to be the man, how to be the boss, how to buy the car, how to buy the house. Show you how to be the man. Yeah. Show you how to be the man. Show you how to be the man, how to be the boss, how to come through with 7 coats to the gloss. Show you how to be the man. Show you how to be the man. Show you how to be the man, how to be the boss, how to buy the car, how to buy the house. Show you how to be the man. Yeah. Show you how to be the man.
Dogger. Hey. I can show you how to be the boss. I can show them boys how we ride on that now. Some clean top off, looking good. Still coming down, tipping foes through the hood. Ripping on the wood, and that cocaine Hussein. Can buy another Hussein if I sold my chain. Old school, wide frame, 7 coats of the gloss. Dug up in the boss since I left Swisher House. Break them off, Talk Texas, dry slabs Rick. Wake up every day to bad bitches and breakfast. Boss life, better get your money right. Me and Riff rap pouring foes in a Sprite. With your bitch, burning bowls at the light. Power Wild Cow say it's going down tonight. H-time, Northside Thugger. I can show you boys how to hustle.
Show you how to be the man, how to be the boss, how to come through with 7 coats to the gloss. Show you how to be the man. Show you how to be the man. Show you how to be the man, how to be the boss, how to buy the car, how to buy the house. Show you how to be the man. Yeah. Show you how to be the man. Yeah, chain with the charm, Versace car alarm. Roll through your city smelling like a thunderstorm. Teleport to palm, python on my arm.
Alright, so we got everything done up top that we can do. Now I gotta jack the car up, get under there, take off the starter, one more bell housing bolt, and then the converter bolts, and the oil cooler lines, the motor mounts, and unplug the crank sensor. I think that's it. Then we should be able to pull it. Just gotta get the cherry picker over here. So probably another hour or so, maybe. We'll see. Alright, so we got everything underneath the car all took off, and we're ready to pull the engine. I just gotta hook up a chain to it and pick it up a little bit. We got a jack underneath the trans, that way it doesn't fall. You don't want to hurt the trans. But yeah, I'm gonna put it back on the car and do the time-lapse thing again. So we'll pull it real quick.
Python on my arm, but don't get me wrong, I want the world in my palm. Call like Ant Farm, I'm calling like a baby. Hot trunk on Antoine, I let it down in Katie. The candy gray Mercedes, I sold it at an auction. Rack game Sadie Hawkins got a ticket for jaywalking. If I had an option, I pick all of the above.
And that's that. Pretty simple, easy, a lot of room without the AC.
Oriental rugs and I'm flying in a dove. You can show me love or you can get lost. 4-story houses, I recline on product couch. Shark grilling mouth. Better watch your language. Power Wall and Johnny got me frozen like a penguin. Colder than a polar. Jody Husky sandals. Slide down 45 in the black licorice Lambo. Show you how to be the man, how to be the boss, how to come through with 7 coats to the gloss. Show you how to be the man. Show you how to be the man. Show you how to be the man, how to be the boss, how to buy the car, how to buy the house. Show you how to be the man. Yeah. Show you how to be the man.
2 cups.
I show you how to get muddy on a sunny day. Drop us on me and soda if you wanna play. Pull a 4, win at 20 like a shot clock. 48 for the watch, $100 socks. Getting money is an understatement. I paid a Corvette for the matching bracelet. $500,000 worth of jewelry is high maintenance. Getting full of more meds than a cancer patient. I can show you how to grind like a brake pad. I got a 100-acre island with a helipad. No key, start the car with an iPad. Drink stains on my shirt is the new fad. Shit don't stink, underwear made of mink. Big Mo, purple soda, ain't never paint. Have you ever mixed a 2-liter with a paint? I can show you how to drink.
Show you how to be the man, how to be the boss, how to come through with 7 coats to the gloss. Show you how to be the man. Show you how to be the man. Show you how to be the man, how to be the boss, how to buy the car, how to buy the house. Show you how to be the man. Yeah. Show you how to be the man. Show you how to be the man, how to be the boss, how to come through with 7 coats to the gloss. Show you how to be the man. Show you how to be the man. Show you how to be the man, how to be the boss, how to buy the car, how to buy the house. Show you how to be the man. Yeah. Show you how to be the man.
Dogger. Hey. I can show you how to be the boss. I can show them boys how we ride on that now. So clean top off, looking good. Still coming down, tipping foes through the hood. Ripping on the wood, and that cocaine Hussein. Can buy another Hussein if I sold my chain. Old school, wide frame, 7 coats of the gloss. Thug been the boss since I left Swisher House. Break them off, talk Texas, dry slabs reckless. Wake up every day to bad bitches and breakfast. Boss life, better get your money right. Me and Riff rap pouring foes in a Sprite. With your bitch, burning vows at the light. Power wild, call say it's going down tonight. H-time, Northside thugger. I can show you boys how to hustle.
Show you how to be the man, how to be the boss, how to come through with 7 coats to the gloss. Show you how to be the man. Show you how to be the man. Show you how to be the man, how to be the boss, how to buy the car, how to buy the house. Show you how to be the man. Yeah. Show you how to be the man.
Yeah, chain with the charm, Versace car alarm. Roll through your city smelling like a thunderstorm. Teleport to prom, python on my arm. But don't get me wrong, I want the world in my palm. Call like Ant Farm, I'm calling like a baby. Hot trunk on Antoine, I let it down in Katy. The candy gray Mercedes, I sold it at an auction. Rap game Sadie Hawkins got a ticket for jaywalking. If I had an option, I pick all of the above. Oriental rugs and I'm fly.
And here we are. I got the engine all the way tore down, so now we just gotta take it to the machine shop. They're gonna weld the head and remill both heads and then deck the block. Here it is. All tore down. Put the main caps back in because I usually want that for machining. There's the heads all bare. Still got valves and stuff in them, but they can usually, I mean, they can take them out if they need to, I guess, whatever. But I guess for the welding, he may have to take them out. I don't know though. So yeah, the bare block, took out all the sensors and everything. So she's ready to roll. I just gotta bag it up, put it in the truck, and then take it to Odessa. I guess I'll make that drive tomorrow before work. But I gotta go to work here in a minute, so not today.